What if one city quietly exposed the biggest vaccine harm signal yet? Hello, this is Dr. Paul Stoller, and this short video is about a small city just outside Tokyo, Japan, where something extraordinary happened. Not a protest, not a headline, just data. Data that may reveal the clearest signal of COVID vaccine harm to date. Koganei City, population 120,000, kept meticulous records of COVID-19 vaccinations and deaths. Using publicly available data and basic Excel tools, a researcher applied what's known as fixed cohort analysis. No modeling, no AI, just clean data and clear trends. Here's what they found. In the vaccinated group, each new vaccine rollout caused a jump in mortality, a spike, a sudden change in the slope of the death curve. But in the unvaccinated group, the line stayed flat. No spikes, no slope change, just steady. This kind of dose-response pattern, where harm increases with each new dose, is one of the strongest signals of causation in observational science. This is as clear a harm signal as it ever gets. This is not a theory, it's not opinion, it's what the data shows. And it wasn't buried in a study just hidden in plain sight. But here's the tragedy. Despite its clarity, this signal is being ignored. Why? Because recognizing it would mean admitting failure. It would mean questioning the sacred narrative of the last 4 years. It took decades for the medical community to admit that smoking causes cancer. Will it take just as long for them to confront what this data is showing us now? The data is public, the analysis is simple, the implications are massive. But acknowledging it, that could require the resignation of the US CDC, FDA, NIH leadership, health ministers and agencies in other countries that lobbied for global adoption. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca could all face massive liability. Despite EUA legal shields, fraud would pierce those protections. Collapse in stock value and lawsuits worldwide. Executives, CEOs, chief medical officers who made public safety assurances could be held personally accountable. Major news networks, CNN, BBC, NYT, etc., if they knowingly suppressed critical information or failed in investigative responsibility, their credibility would be shattered. Media corporations and platforms, Meta, Twitter, X, YouTube. If internal documents showed coordinated suppression of truthful information, the medical cartel that pressured doctors to comply with mandates, punished those who raised concerns, accepted financial incentives tied to compliance. Doctors and scientists who aggressively pushed the narrative and dismissed early concerns could face reputational and legal consequences, especially if they participated in data suppression. Investment firms and insurance companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, and other institutional investors heavily invested in pharma may face exposure if accused of profiting from knowledge they withheld. WHO, Gavi, CEPI, and UN-affiliated public health organizations that coordinated the global response. Admissions of harm and cover-up would damage their legitimacy on a global scale. Life and health insurance companies could face scrutiny if they had early actuarial evidence of rising non-COVID deaths, but failed to sound alarms. Think for yourself. Ask hard questions. Follow the data, not the headlines. This isn't just about Koganei. It's about what happens when truth becomes too inconvenient to face.